They say, home is where the heart is. Well, if that's the case, then Civic Plaza is my living room, Central Ave is my hallway, and my bed is a hot air balloon. We rendezvous with our BFFs at sunsets to watch orange change to pink, and pink change to black, and black change to memories we'll never forget. We're home, where freedom of expression is an understatement. When they call our youth outcasts, we call our youth pioneers. Where other young people party, we parade down streets for equity. Because we're young, but we're never too young to live out our destinies. So we enjoy our time on this frontier. We sing to the clouds and beyond. We fight for our rights as humans, and we dance through the night to these songs because we love, we celebrate, and every day, the more this place becomes our home in every way. Now it's time for us to take care of our home as one Albuquerque.
Hello, Albuquerque. Thank you so much for joining us for this very special event. And this wouldn't be possible without all of our sponsors, big and small, but I want to thank especially some of our top-level sponsors. Thank you so much, Presbyterian, for all the help to make this possible. Now let's talk a little bit about what exactly is the One Albuquerque Fund. And this really comes from the concept that a lot of our public institutions have a supporting foundation, like the C&M Foundation or the UNM Foundation. And Albuquerque is no different. Now we have the One Albuquerque Foundation. And its goal is to put forth every year the One Albuquerque Fund to help priorities across our city. And right now, there are 4 key priorities that the fund and the city are working on together. First, of course, is homelessness. There's so much we can do, especially around homeless vouchers. For just a small amount of money, we can actually provide shelter for one individual. The second priority is youth opportunity. This is about all the after-school programs and all the summer programs that we provide for our kids when they're not in APS. That's where the city steps up, and that's where we also need your help. The third priority is around workforce development. This is how do we actually train folks, especially entrepreneurs and folks in the small business sector, how do we train them to be able to scale and to be able to grow right here in Albuquerque? And lastly, of course, a top priority for us is public safety. And we do need your help with respect to our recruiting of officers, not only from our local talent pool, but also from around the state and the country to come join and help us fight crime and keep our community safe. Now for us, we've always had a mayor's ball. This is a long tradition in Albuquerque. And we know that both the mayor's ball and the One Albuquerque Fund is especially important during the time of COVID. And I'm so grateful this fund has been set up because during COVID, the fund has done so much. Also $50,000 to help folks who are homeless who needed shelter or folks who were actually corona positive and needed a place to go that was safe and isolated. These are the kinds of ways the fund has been stepping up to help, and we still have to do much more. That's why we're doing the Mayor's Ball. Now, we had a dream of the Mayor's Ball being something that is accessible to the broad community, to be able to gather folks from all walks of life and where we can celebrate all that's special about our city, the music, the art, the food, and the culture and local businesses. And someday we're going to be able to do that. But of course, right now, the reality is a virtual reality. We're going to have to do the Mayor's Ball online, and that's what we're doing here today. And for us, this is, of course, a safe way to try and raise money to help out these causes that I've mentioned, and to also try and step up for our city in every way we can in partnership as One Albuquerque. So you're going to hear a lot of great stories throughout this program, and we look forward to you joining us in all ways to help, big and small, for the One Albuquerque Fund. And now I'd like to introduce the president of the One Albuquerque Fund, Charles Ashe III, to get us started.
I wanted to thank you all for tuning in this evening as we discuss some of the things that we've achieved through the fund this year through your generous donations. Now, thanks to you, we've had a huge impact in our city during this pandemic. We've been able to keep businesses open, provide housing vouchers, and even give back to our creative economy. The One Albuquerque Fund was created because the only way that we can succeed as a city is if we come together. And as you can see, during times like this, we need it now more than ever. I am proud to be a part of this community and we are blown away by the generosity of our neighbors. You truly have represented the One Albuquerque spirit, but we're not done yet. We've made it this far, Albuquerque, and we know that the challenges ahead of us are difficult, but we're relentless. And what is One Albuquerque? That's you standing with us and helping support our community as one Albuquerque. That's the spirit of Albuquerque. Stand with us and support our Albuquerque community as One Albuquerque. Please visit onealbuquerque.org or text 180Q to 505-658-0908 to chip in now. Every dollar counts as we work to ensure that every resident of our great city is safe, secure, and able to thrive. I support the fund because it gives us a way to break through the red tape where if it's a great idea or a great project, it has to go through layers. So the fund gives us this ability to say, hey, that's a really dope idea. We can get it done now. We can invest in it now. And it doesn't matter what side of the aisle that you sit on or you stand on. If it's good for Albuquerque, that's all that we care about. And that's really what the fund is. That's what we want people to know us for, and to know that we stand for immediate impact in getting things done, not just talking about it, but actually doing it. And a huge thank you to our 2020 Mayor's Ball sponsors. To learn more about how the One Albuquerque Fund is having an impact in our community, you're going to hear from community partners, board members, businesses that have been affected by this, but also have worked with the fund. But kicking it all off is Pilar Westel, board member of the One Albuquerque Fund.
Hi there, I'm Pilar Westel, owner of Zendo Coffee and board member for the One Albuquerque Fund. As a small business owner, I was really proud that the One Albuquerque Fund was able to contribute $50,000 to local businesses impacted by the pandemic. Our donations supported 10 businesses through the City of Albuquerque's Micro Business Relief Fund. And with your donations, we're hoping to keep small businesses open during these tough times. Challenges won't be slowing down anytime soon for anyone, and we need and appreciate all your donations to keep these doors open. So keep visiting your local shops and favorite restaurants, and remember to chip in whatever you can so that the One Albuquerque Fund can continue to donate. And thank you to all of our contributors and sponsors for everything that you've done so far. Together, we are One Albuquerque.
Hi, this is John Mark with Storylab.
Hi, my name is Carlos with PopViz.
Hi, my name is Renee Karachi, and I own Kids Clubhouse Child Care Center.
Hey there, my name is Mike Silva. I am the founder and co-owner of Rude Boy Cookies.
Hi guys, Laureen Rodriguez here, and I'm the owner of Mariposa Marketing, and we are a marketing company for small businesses here in Albuquerque.
My name is Melissa. I am the owner of Stitchology on Rio Grande.
I'm Pierre Gonzalez with the Albuquerque Barber College.
Hi, my name is Trong Nguyen. I am the owner of Cafe Dalat, a small Vietnamese restaurant in the International District.
Hey everyone, this is Natalie and Alex and my mom who's not here, Elvira from Chili Fix.
Hi, my name is Frank Sandoval with the Breaking Bad RV Tours and the New Mexico Film Tours. In early March, we had to shut down operations, which actually negatively impacted our business. As you know, many of our visitors come from out of state or from other countries.
Our business relies heavily on the patronage of our great customers, as well as the many events that the City of Albuquerque puts together every single year. When the state of emergency was declared, 75% of our event contracts were canceled within 2 days.
I've just received a phone call from the City of Albuquerque that our application for the city grant has been approved. I'm very thrilled that this money will keep my business afloat for a little while.
As a micro business, we greatly appreciate this opportunity to receive this $5,000 grant offered by the City of Albuquerque.
Yeah, this will help keep us afloat. It'll help with rent, utilities, to keep our people paid, and just to ensure that we're going to be here after all of this is over.
And yes, thank you for the opportunity that you're awarding us to stay in business and provide food for our community and for the people that are still working now.
This funding will help support my 4 employees for the next 2 months.
And we are grateful for the city's ongoing support of our little software business and our other businesses here in Albuquerque.
And so we just want to extend a really big thanks to Mayor Keller and just overall our city. We are so blessed to live and work here. There's no other place in the world we'd rather do it.
I just want to say thank you to the city of Albuquerque. Greatly appreciate it. Looking forward to getting on the other side of this. One Albuquerque.
Thank you, Pilar, for being part of the One Albuquerque team and for all that you do in the community. And listening to some of those local businesses talk about how support from the One Albuquerque Fund has made a big difference for them also reminds us that they need our help. And so your donations go a long way. To chip in, you can visit onealbuquerque.org. And you can also text 1Albuquerque2, and the number is now on your screen. Now, to keep businesses growing in Albuquerque and to attract businesses, to foster creativity and innovation that comes along with a strong economy, we must raise the bar for opportunities we provide to young people. And at the city, we've doubled our efforts in terms of the number of space available for people in our summer programs before and after school, especially during the time of Corona. And since we've been providing this invaluable childcare and these limited programs to children in our city, we've realized that there's a need for more safe, engaging places so kids have a place to go while parents can work. Now, the One Albuquerque Fund is dedicated to continuing to open up more opportunities like these, especially at a time when we need them most. I want to thank you again, our tremendous sponsors that you can see here scrolling on the screen, for your help to make what's happened so far a reality, and for also helping really lead the way for others to donate as well. Now next, the One Albuquerque Fund board member, Drew Dolan, is going to talk about a little bit more in terms of what we're doing around issues to help these young people who've been directly impacted by programs and why they're so critical.
Hey there. My name is Drew Dolan, and I'm one of the community leaders serving on the One Albuquerque Fund Board of Directors. We all know that the future of Albuquerque is in the hands of our youth. Me especially, having grown up in Albuquerque and raising my small family in the Albuquerque area. That's why it's critical for every young person in our community to have access to engaging programming when and where they need it the most. Creating enough programs and camps to ensure that everyone who wants to participate over the summer and before and after school is a core priority of our organization. With your donations, the One Albuquerque Fund was able to support a great program with Working Classrooms Mobile Mural Project this year. We supported 4 student artists and the material they needed to create a beautiful mural in partnership with the New Mexico Dream Team. You can see this mural as it moves around town. Thank you to all our sponsors who've done everything to help us to date. And please, if you're able to contribute, we would appreciate anything as we continue this incredible work for the youth of Albuquerque and to support our city. During my high school years, I worked for the Albuquerque Parks and Rec Division, and I really got to see firsthand the impact that these programs can have for young kids who might not have anywhere to go during the day and have 2 parents that work or only find trouble when they stay at home. And through the Parks and Rec Division, we were able to really create a safe place for them to be and a happy place for them to be. And it's probably, one of the most rewarding and enjoyable jobs of my career. It's really important to support our community and that we, try to all excel and all grow And there's so many people in our community that get left behind. And anything we can do to help support the people that get left behind or help lift them up and provide better opportunities, people that are less fortunate than we are. And I think we've got an obligation. We live here. We love New Mexico. We love Albuquerque. And anything we can do to help people grow and get a head start and a positive start like we might have had, I think it's our obligation. I know a lot of people in Albuquerque give a lot of time and a lot of money and a lot of their energy to all types of groups that are doing great things. But having sit on the One Albuquerque Fund board since its inception, I've seen what we're able to do with these funds and these dollars, and really how we're able to make the most of it and effectively spend dollars where they can have the greatest impact on our city. So if you're able and willing, we'd love to have you join us. Please give. Thank you. Together, we are One Albuquerque.
We understood that we are an avenue for our community, right, as an organization. And how can we provide an opportunity for our community, right? By us, for us. So that's the framework that we came out of, right? So right away we started moving, we started asking around who can provide funding for an opportunity like this. We were fortunate enough to receive that funding, and we're super grateful, right? Because obviously amidst the pandemic, it's really hard for our families, our communities of color, to get by, and we're able to provide a little bit of money and a little bit of income. But not only that, right? As an organization that works with youth, for youth, we were very aware that this could also be an avenue for young people to discuss the issues that they're affected by, right?
My name is Elisa Cordero. I am a recent head guard from the West Mesa Aquatic Center. My favorite thing about working here at the pool is that I do get to see a lot of people come through. I get to see them grow up, and I get to make sure that they are safe. One of the most influential pieces of working at the pool would be the teamwork and communication that I've learned by just working with other people. I'd never been used to that, and so this really pushed me to go out there and make friends and cooperate with other people in this experience. Working in this position specifically gets a lot of social interaction with patrons and with other people, and I personally want to go into the medical field, so this was my baseline for starting. It's first aid. So that's what I was looking for when I came here. But you can find skills for any job here. There is that communication, but there's also being able to rely on yourself, being able to work with the numbers. We have machines here that you can take care of. There's every aspect that you can incorporate into this job. When I was younger, throughout the ages of like 6 to 10, I did take lessons through the city of Albuquerque, and I looked up to the lifeguards that taught me. I saw how confident they were, how smart they were, and so I aspired to be like that. And so here I am today teaching these kids the same things that they taught me, and I'm incorporating everything from swimming to life lessons, making them confident in their abilities, showing them that they don't need everyone else to be there helping them through it. They can do it on their own. I'd like to thank everyone who supports the City of Albuquerque programs, as it helps me, my coworkers, and all the children we do teach. They love it and they look forward to it when it starts back up here soon.
My name is Vitusol Perez, and I am a Community Outreach Administrative Assistant. So for the last 2 summers, I've been working as an intern with Cultural Services, and now I have the Administrative Assistant position. When I was really young, like a little toddler, I would go to the main library for story time, and like that's where I met like some of my best friends. Like even now, just like being able to have that space and, you know, learn so much in the library, and then being able to come back now as an intern and be able to take pictures. And so I was like lucky enough to go to, I think one of like the first like the drag queens when their story hour, and so that was just really cool to like have that opportunity and see how it impacts like so many young, you know, lives too, and like you know, like young children. So that was a really cool experience. I think the biggest thing, the most like meaningful thing that I've learned is how like art and government really work together. So I've been performing and making art most of my life, and I've also been really interested in like politics and policies, and that's something that to me seemed like super separate. Like it like didn't really make sense to go together. And so I was able to these past summers to just like see how they actually do together, and like see like, you know, work with different like mentors who have made their careers like in that intersection, and that was like super eye-opening, and just like see how art can make like such a big impact on people, and how like politics like actually like do have like a lot to do with it. Youth programming in Albuquerque is really important because it just offers a space for, you know, for kids to have fun and be safe in this environment, and also, you know, be able to, you know, get out of like the normal like day-to-day life and just have fun with it, and also like learn from like different mentors too, who really like have your back and like are there to like teach you and help you grow, and like give you like different skills that are like very helpful like later on in life too. So in my culture, we always have the saying to always think 7 generations ahead. And so to, you know, I think it's super important to invest in these programs that really have an impact on our youth in Albuquerque, and like creating a better Albuquerque for, you know, for all of our youth today and for our youth tomorrow. Yeah, so thank you to the Albuquerque community for investing in these programs that really changed like so many lives, and it changed mine, and it's changed so many other people around me. To support youth programs and opportunities, you can text youth to 505-658-0908, or you can donate online at onealbuquerque.org. Juntos somos One Albuquerque.
Thank you so much, Drew, and all those amazing stories from some of our local young people. Supporting this virtual Mayor's Ball and the One Albuquerque Fund will help get even more kids engaged in programming and jobs that will then help grow and serve our community. To help keep up this work, please text 1ABQ to the number on the screen now, or you can go to onealbuquerque.org and donate online. Now, we know that one of the biggest challenges facing our city is homelessness. And this is also an area where we've been able to have some of the biggest impact. As mayor, I've redoubled our efforts to create a full-time position dedicated to tackling the crisis of homelessness and to significantly increasing our spending when it comes to homeless vouchers for those who are experiencing homelessness. We've worked hard to tackle some of the root causes of homelessness, such as addiction, mental health, and everything that affects too many people in Albuquerque. And we're grateful to the voters who've approved building a critically needed gateway center that will help get folks off the street and into permanent housing. But a key component of this is also those housing vouchers, so that once they go to the Gateway Center, they have somewhere then to get permanent housing. In a moment, we're going to hear from One Albuquerque Fund board member Wesley Wellborn on the impact we're having on families in need during the pandemic. And we're also going to hear from some key staffers who work on these issues day in and day out on how you can help out right away.
Hi, I'm Wesley Wellborn, local CPA and board member with the One Albuquerque Fund. It's no secret that the city struggles with homelessness, and that's why housing assistance and the Housing First model of supporting those experiencing homelessness is a core pillar of our work. When the pandemic hit Albuquerque, the One Albuquerque Fund was ready to help and donated $50,000 to assist with safe shelter for 90 families. With so many families continuing to struggle and with so much uncertainty from the pandemic, it's more important than ever to provide safe spaces for those in need. Every dollar counts for those experiencing or on the verge of homelessness, and we can't slow down. Please dig deep and contribute what you can to support safe housing in Albuquerque. Together, we are One Albuquerque.
Hi everyone, my name is Gilbert Ramirez. I am the Deputy Director of Behavioral Health and Wellness Services for the City of Albuquerque under the Family and Community Services Department. Quickly, I have the honor of kind of overseeing our $10 million budget and investment in behavioral health services for our community to kind of fill gaps in services in the community. And I also have the privilege of overseeing our 4 health and social service centers that are located throughout the quadrants of the city that provide food, eviction prevention services, as well as lease space and property to nonprofits to allow community access to vital services. So during this pandemic, we've seen individuals who have come to the social service centers asking for assistance in various ways. Not only have they needed assistance in maybe paying their arrears with rent, they may have needed a little assistance with utility bills as well. And so we have seen applicants who we've been able to help maybe pay a portion of their back due rent, as well as pay off their water bill, their electric bill, or their utility bill. The program allows us to be able to issue a certain amount of dollars in various areas. And so we've seen everything from, high arrears, upwards of $1,500, $2,000 in back pay of rent because they haven't been employed, as well as a combination of needing just some help with rent and then getting those utilities paid down. Our state does have a state moratorium to protect individuals around eviction, but it doesn't mean that debt doesn't go away. And so we're glad to be able to help them get paid and caught up on some of what they owe so that they can stay housing secure. Outside of the One Albuquerque Housing Foundation that donated $50,000 for eviction prevention utility help, we surge from our community and we're truly appreciative of that, giving from their own pockets to help individuals stay housing secure. We received roughly $30,000 between March and July in community donations to assist us in also getting help out to our community. So between the One Albuquerque Housing Foundation and our community, I'd say we're close to about $100,000 in donations that have already been issued and gone right back to our community immediately through our program. So I'd like to take this time to really extend my appreciation and thank you on behalf of the CR department and our program for all the donations that have come in to assist individuals in staying in their homes, being able to pay their utility bills and their water bills. The donations that have come to us have gone directly back to our community, and we are extremely thankful for those donations, and we appreciate it. I think this is a prime example of our community coming together to make sure that our community is safe, housed, and that our families are taken care of. Cannot thank you enough, and I do appreciate it.
My name is Lisa Ubal. I'm the Deputy Director of Housing and Homelessness at the Department of Family and Community Services. I oversee all of the city's initiatives and programs related to homelessness and to affordable housing. And that includes everything from emergency shelter to street outreach services to supportive housing and rental assistance programs to home ownership programs. So we originally launched the One Albuquerque Housing Fund as a way to engage our community in funding what we know is the proven best practice for ending homelessness in our community. We know people experience homelessness because they do not have a safe and affordable place to live, and that the solution to homelessness is to provide the assistance that people need to move from shelter or the streets into their own housing and to be able to keep that housing. So the One Albuquerque Housing Fund offered an opportunity for community members who wanted to be part of the solution to contribute directly to that solution. Homelessness impacts all of us in one way or another. I think that for all of us, when we drive or walk through our community and we see people that are experiencing homelessness, that touches all of us. We all know that that is very difficult for people to live outside on the streets. When we hear stories about families with children sleeping in their cars or in motels or doubled up in really unsafe or overcrowded conditions, that is really hard for all of us to hear those stories. So the One Albuquerque Housing Fund really offered an opportunity for community members who care about this issue to really be part of that solution. And the funds that we have raised were distributed to nonprofit organizations that have long experience providing housing assistance and supportive services to people experiencing homelessness. And they have been able to use these funds to help people move from the shelter or the streets directly into their own housing. For example, one of the nonprofits that we provided funding to had a person staying in the shelter who had a job and actually was able to pay the rent on her own, but did not have enough money for security deposit and first and last month's rent. So would have been at the shelter for longer while she was trying to save up those funds. And the One Albuquerque Fund allowed her to be able to quickly move into her own apartment, which was very exciting. One of the agencies that received funds through the One Albuquerque Housing Fund was able to assist a woman who was staying in their shelter. She had a job and was able to afford an apartment on her own, but she did not have enough money saved up for a security deposit and first and last month's rent. So this agency was able to assist her by providing the first month's rent, last month's rent, and security deposit using the One Albuquerque Housing Fund. So she was able to get out of the shelter much more quickly than she would have otherwise. With the creation of the One Albuquerque Fund, the One Albuquerque Housing Fund is now under the umbrella of the One Albuquerque Fund. So donors who wish to contribute to housing for people experiencing homelessness are able to go to the One Albuquerque Fund and make a donation. And when they make their donation, can request that those contributions be directed to housing for people experiencing homelessness. We know that housing is the solution to homelessness, that helping people experiencing homelessness obtain their own homes and being able to help folks pay for that housing and provide supportive services until they're back on their feet is the best thing that we can do to have a real and meaningful impact on homelessness in our community. In order to be able to do that at the scale that is needed, we do need more resources, and those resources have to come from all sectors of our community. By contributing to the One Albuquerque Fund, especially the housing part of the fund, you can help people in our community move from the streets and shelters into their own homes.
Wow, thank you so much, Wesley. And it's both heartwarming to discuss the impact this has on local families, but also incredible to understand the need that still exists. Now, as Gilbert and Lisa discussed, there is so many ways to help, and even small amounts of money can help make a real difference. Even just a $100 donation can help keep the lights on and the water running and prevent eviction. I hope you'll join us today by making a contribution of whatever amount you can afford. You can do that online at onealbuquerque.org, and you can also text 1Albuquerque to the number on your screen. Now, you know the pandemic has brought to light so many existing challenges, but it has also revealed our strengths, especially here in Albuquerque. And one of our strengths is the incredible diversity of our own people, something which truly enhances our culture and our community. And when the pandemic hit, a group of refugees and immigrants in our community took action and began making masks for our essential workers. That is truly the one Albuquerque spirit. And because it doesn't matter where you come from, or where you live, or how long you've been in Albuquerque, we know there's a need, and we all step up in every way we can to help fill those gaps. Now, One Albuquerque Fund board member Bob White is going to tell us a little bit more about this project, and we'll hear from some of those folks who were impacted.
Hi, I'm Bob White and a member of the One Albuquerque Board. Over the years, I have learned the importance of and the contributions made by each part of our very diverse community, including our immigrant community. And I have learned the importance of contributing back to each of those parts. As the pandemic hit Albuquerque, a group of refugee and immigrant women stepped up and began making face masks for essential workers. Then at a time when needed most, the One Albuquerque Fund was honored to fund their effort by providing for wages, salaries, material costs, and training. That helped them expand their effort and employ more immigrant women. We don't know where the next critical needs in our community are going to be. A year ago, we hardly knew that face masks for our healthcare heroes would be important. But that's what's important about the One Albuquerque Fund, is it has the flexibility to take action fast when and where it is needed. So please support the One Albuquerque Fund in any amount you can so that we can continue to get resources out to the community during these tough times. I think contributing to the fund is important because a community exists together, and each part of the community must support every other part of the community. So those that have the ability to support one part of the community where a need exists, then that person can expect that that other part of the community will support it when they have a need. And I think the One Albuquerque Fund is a way for people who have the ability right now to make a contribution to do that. Thank you very much, Albuquerque, for supporting the One Albuquerque Fund. Together, we are One Albuquerque.
Okay, so my name is Nkazi Senandile. I am the founder of New Mexico Women's Global Pathways, which is a program of the Immigrant and Refugee Resource Village of Albuquerque. I got to know about the ladies from SWAP through a mask creation project. When COVID-19 hit, and many women, because I work primarily with refugee, immigrant, and asylum seekers. And so many of the families, they say, especially the women, including men, of course, lost their jobs and they lost income. And so I was just trying to find out what was going to happen to all those young adults who were not in school and the women not at work and their families. And then I got a call from Southwest Organizing Project asking if our organization could partner with them so that the women could sew masks for protection against COVID, and also the same masks would be used to promote the census. And so I readily agreed because I knew that I had about 20 women that needed jobs, but I didn't know where they were going to get the jobs. So we agreed to partner with them. And so from April to last week in August, we sold masks weekly, and the women got paid substantially above average pay. And so it has been a pleasure to work with Southwestern Organizing Project. They informed me that they had received funding from the city. We actually used $15,000 that came to our organization to pay the seamstresses. And together with other organizations, because we're not the only women and girls who were sewing the masks, we were able to create more than almost 15,000 masks that were distributed to frontline workers and other organizations and people who needed masks, including the homeless, because right now we're also doing a homeless project at our center. And so some of those masks were giving them to the homeless population. And so I can say that with the Southwest Organizing Project, I know that their major goal is to promote a feminist movement where, women, girls, the singles, undocumented, refugee women can feel empowered through using their own skill sets, because women have skill sets that they can use to advance themselves economically. These programs are important for almost everybody, male and female. But for this population that we serve, especially the undocumented, who have to always hide, do not go out to go look for employment for fear of being deported. So it is very important for organizations like SWAP and our organization and others to reach out to these women, to find them and to help them, because they're not going to be able to participate. For instance, when there was a stimulus checks that were sent out, they did not get the stimulus checks, the undocumented. And while there's another one maybe coming, they're not going to be able to get that stimulus check. And so it is important that the city does all like the city did to give the funding, to make sure that these people who live in the shadows are taken care of, that they are helped to find employment, because they cannot even apply for food stamps or other social security, like social benefits from human services. So for the undocumented, this is a very important program. And for the refugee women and girls, most of the time, the women and boys work when they can find jobs, but when COVID hit, almost everybody lost employment. And so the women had to do something, and when the opportunity came to sew these masks, they were very delighted. I just want to say thank you to everyone in the community, those who have funds and those who have no funds, but they try to do anything to support one another. We as the communities need to do our best to work with the governor and the city to make sure that this infection doesn't get far, that we can be able to control it. We're doing good now, but I also ask community to be able, like you have been doing already, to help one another. You've done a very good job, but let's keep on helping each other, because that's about the only way we're going to make it. Like one Albuquerque, one community. Together we can do this.
That is such a great story, and it really shows off our One Albuquerque spirit. Thank you so much, Bob, and also Nkazi for all of your work. And for many of us who've worked in the refugee community, we know how famous Mama Kazi is, as she's called by the community. And it's so great to still see her helping our city. Now, these stories that we've heard today really demonstrate the impact we're seeing. It's an impact that isn't possible without your help and the help of so many in our community who have stepped up to help meet our challenges. Now, no mayor, no government can do all of this all alone. These challenges weren't caused by one person. And it's really going to take all of us working together to create lasting solutions for our city. That's what One Albuquerque is all about. I want to thank again all of our partners and sponsors who've made the One Albuquerque Fund possible. Without your donations, many families, businesses, and children would not have the necessary opportunities to get through this pandemic. But our work is not yet done. In the coming year, we'll be working hand in hand with the One Albuquerque Fund on all of our top priorities: housing and homelessness, youth opportunity, community safety, workforce support, and investment in Albuquerque's Black community. To all who are watching tonight, we need your help. Please go to onealbuquerque.org and donate, or text 1ABQ to the number on your screen. Together, we are One Albuquerque.
We be sunsets so beautiful they paint themselves on the edge of the earth. We be where dreams come to live and retire. We be artists making careers out of thin air. We be entrepreneurs and doers. Somewhere between bright ideas and done. We be chilly by blood and balloons for lungs. We be no I in team, but two and familia. We are your favorite city's favorite city, the heart of the Southwest in New Mexico's chest. We be one Borque. We be one Albuquerque.
Together we are.
We are One Albuquerque.
We are One Albuquerque.
We are One Albuquerque.
Juntos somos One Albuquerque.